Hey you guys, it's Karen. I thought I would come and sit by the window where I've got some lovely natural light and do some health updates for you. Today's one being about knees. Well, I'm going to do two. I'm going to do what's going on with my knees and what's going on with the bladder installations, because I know some people will be interested in that. So with my knees, just to give you a brief history, I've had knee pain since I was a child, really, since I was a teenager. And I remember my dad took me to A&E and they couldn't find anything. And of course, it wasn't really known about Ehlers-Danlos then, or hypermobility. And so I went a few times and nothing was really diagnosed. I didn't have any issues walking, I just had knee pain. But then when I was 33, so 14 years ago, they really started to hurt. In the couple of years before they started to hurt, they were super crunchy. You know, they were making an awful lot of noise. And I used to walk to work with my friend Derek, and him and I used to go up the stairs together to get into our office. And he used to always comment on it, you know, like, oh my goodness, the sound of your knees going up these stairs. But it really didn't hurt me. But I hit 33 and kind of everything seemed to hit me, and my knee pain was one of the things that was really, really bad. And I was limping, like I couldn't get down. I lived in a first floor flat at the time and I couldn't get down the stairs. I was literally holding on and hobbling down, hobbling all over the place. And so I had a few appointments. I went to see a physio, and she was the one that told me she thought I had hypermobility, Ehlers-Danlos it's now known as, type 3, hypermobility type. And she wrote to the doctor, they referred me to a rheumatologist, and I got orthotics at that point. Orthotics are the first thing that really, really helped me. I mean, they massively helped. It stopped me limping. They felt really, really weird putting them in my shoes. It feels like you've got a lump under your foot, but it really helped and stopped the limping. But it didn't stop the pain, and the pain was getting worse and worse. And what I've found since then is if I don't wear the orthotics, then I get knee pain within a minute or two. So walking around the house without wearing slippers or some kind of footwear without my orthotics on would give me pain. Even if I tried a pair of shoes on in a shop and walked up and down without my orthotics on, my knee would hurt. My right knee is worse, or it has always been more painful than my left. I saw an orthopedic consultant, and I actually had to go privately, which is a whole nother story about the NHS and the sort of mistakes, if you like, that they've made. But I ended up having a lateral release on my right knee, which is quite a big operation. They kind of slice a bit of, I think it's a tendon, to release and put your kneecap back to the middle position. Mine was, you know, in the wrong position. And he also did an arthroscopy while he was in there, so there was a bit of arthritis. And that took me a good year to recover from. He said to me, it will be a year to 18 months before you see any difference. But to be honest, it's not really made that much of a difference. And so I was supposed to go back and have the left knee done with him, but I just never went back because I just didn't see that much benefit, and my right knee was still hurting. So I thought it's pointless now having another massive operation on my left knee when I'm still getting pain with my right knee. So the orthotics have kind of been the answer, but over the last couple of years, things have been worse pain-wise, and they've been worse kind of in a different way, because we've had Watson. Watson is my Labradoodle dog. We've had him for 4.5 years, nearly 5 years. He's just turned 5. And Kev and I were talking about this the other day. When we first got him, well, and at the point he started to need walks, so it would have been when he was about a year old, so 4 years ago, we had all these plans of going on these lovely walks, but we'd go and start the walk, and 10 minutes in, I'd be in pain, and I'd say, I can't do it. And I would get really upset with myself. Kev has always been amazing and really supportive, and he'd be like, look, that's all you can do, that's all you can do. I'll take him out again later. But I felt like I was letting my family down, you know. It's like here we had driven all this way normally to somewhere really nice, and I couldn't even walk round, you know. So that happened quite a few times, but I still would go on the walks and try, you know, and it built up and built up. And without really even noticing it, it built up to me being able to walk for an hour. And it was only probably 2 years ago that I said to Kev, you know, I can now walk him for an hour. And I've even I do a lot of his walking now myself, but I only do it Like I do an evening small walk and I do an hour's walk at the weekend with him, and sometimes a family walk if my knee's okay. So in that way my knee improved and I could definitely walk more. Something I talk about in the law of attraction actually is being able to walk more, and walking around the house without orthotics is something I can do a bit more now, and that's something I had asked the universe for. There's a very specific way you need to do it to get any results though. But anyway, so that bit had improved, but what had really gone downhill is going up and down any kind of stairs and bending at all. So if you've seen any videos of me and Watson, every night I give him an enrichment game, and he won't play his enrichment game. He just sits there waiting till I am joining him or my husband is joining him. But that's normally the time that my husband's making dinner, and so I'm sitting on the floor with him, and sitting like as I am now with my legs crossed, crouching down to the floor, and particularly getting up from the floor is a problem. I've just straightened my knees so they feel a little bit better. That was causing me such bad pain that I'd get up and then I'd need to use my crutches. I've still got my crutches from my operation because they are handy when my knee flares up. Any kind of steps, any kind of hills were really causing me problems. So that's why I went back to this orthopedic consult. So she was brilliant actually. She did x-rays on the day and said that there wasn't anything specific she could see in the x-rays, but she suspected that I had more arthritic damage than last time, but I was to get an MRI and see what the results are. But she kind of set me up for what the result would be, because she said even if you do have the severe damage I think you do, she said I wouldn't necessarily recommend you for knee replacement surgery. The reason being is I'm too young. Now, a friend of mine has a work colleague that has had her knees done, and she's around my age, and she has had a knee replacement. But I think the difference with me is I am what they call functional, in that I can walk. And I didn't go in there and exaggerate anything. I went and said, yeah, I can walk quite happily, I can walk my dog. I just have to make sure that it's on the flat and that there's no stairs. But that, daily bending down is causing me a lot of pain. And so that isn't really, it's not severe enough to require or to warrant a big operation like a knee replacement. Now, she said it doesn't mean that I won't, qualify for a knee replacement. She could put me forward to discuss having a knee replacement, and it may be something that I could ask for and get, but she wouldn't recommend it because of my age. Getting a knee replacement at this age will wear out much more than somebody that gets a knee replacement when they're 60 or 65 or 70, which makes sense because you're generally more active at this age. But knee replacements already don't last that long, but they would last even less time at this age, being how active I am. So you would say, well, why not just put another one in? But the problem with it is that every surgery causes scar tissue, and I already have scar tissue from having the lateral release on the right side, and that makes it more difficult and more complicated to put in another one. A second knee replacement is not very often that successful, but what I didn't know was even the first knee replacement is not always successful. There's not a great success rate. Now, I thought there was a great success rate because of the people that I know that have had one have thought it's amazing. Like, it's really been a great success, and it just is obviously the people I've been speaking to, but there isn't a great success rate. They don't always work. They often work with revisions. They need revision surgery, so you have the knee replacement, but then you need to have a little bit tweaked. And like I said, the more surgery you have, the more scar tissue. Having Ehlers-Danlos, she said, as well, makes a difference to how you heal, and that causes further problems. And so from everything she was saying, it doesn't sound like it's worth doing until the point where I can't walk again, which is how I was, like I said, when I was 33. At the point where I'm limping and I can't just take Watson for a walk, I think then it would be worth considering having the replacement. Well, she said the best options were lose weight. She said she would say that even to somebody slim. She said because the slimmer you are, the less weight on your knees. Supplements with glucosamine and chondroitin, which I haven't been taking. I did take it for a while, but I haven't for many years, so I'm now taking that again. And I was already taking turmeric, curcumin extract, and lose weight. Oh, physio. So to build up my thigh muscles because I've got really weak quads. So anyway, I went and had the MRI, and got the results back. She phoned me to tell me the results, and it was quite a lot to take in, hearing her talking over the phone, because I'm much better when I've got something in front of me to read. So I'll put the result up for my, what is this one, left knee? Yeah, I'll put the left knee up, but they're both pretty much the same. The only difference is on the left knee it says probable Hoffer fat pad impingement, and on the right side it says definite Hoffer fat pad impingement. And so you can see from there, I'll give you the summary, which is at the bottom where it says opinion. I've got severe patellar osteochondral damage. So that's basically arthritis. Osteo is bone, chondral is cartilage. So there's severe damage to the cartilage underneath my bone, and the lady was explaining to me that it's basically bone on bone, but it's underneath my kneecap. And that's what's causing the problem. And that's why my knees are swollen most of the time. If you looked at them now, they're actually pretty swollen through my clothes. There's a big lump on either side, on either knee. So severe arthritis. Then it says a horizontal tear of the posterior horn of the medial meniscus is exactly the same on the other side, but the other side, the right knee, also has some parameniscal cysts. So cysts grow, they're just fluid-filled sacs. Cysts grow when it's really bad, and so the right side is worse than the left side, but I've got a tear in the meniscus on both sides, which causes me the pain at the back of my knee. So I've got all different types of knee pain. Oh, and the other thing was the Hoffer fat pad impingement. So basically, because of the lack of cartilage and the position of my knees, because she also told me that my knees rotate when I bend, because of the Ehlers-Danlos loss, it's squeezing on the fat pad, and that's also causing me pain. That's causing me the front knee pain. I've got the front knee pain caused by the Hoffer fat pad impingement, the back by the tear in the meniscus, and the pain that I feel right in the centre of my knees is the arthritis. When she spoke to me on the phone to explain these, which was really good of her, and she then sent me these results, she said she would not normally see results like this in somebody that was 47, but you know that it was because of my Ehlers-Danlos loss. It was explained really well to me once that when you're hypermobile, it is as if you have the life of an athlete. That's how your body takes it, even if you don't. So if I walk for half an hour, my body will take that as if I have been running for 2 hours. And that's why the damage. And in a way, it was quite nice, because she said to me, at least we know why you're in pain now. You know, she said, it's quite obvious looking at this where your pain comes from. And she said that might not be much comfort. But I said to her, actually, it is. It feels, I'm sure you guys will agree, if you've gone through any kind of pain, having validation for it does make you feel better. You know, my husband read it and he was like, oh, I'm sorry. You know, he was like, this doesn't make good reading, because it's just a list of everything that's wrong, because there's other things on that list. There's not much right with my knees, basically. And it does make you feel better, and I've no idea why, because it doesn't improve the situation whatsoever. Anyway, so I was a bit down about it for a day or so, and I allow myself to be down about something, and then I kind of pick myself up and I'm like, right, what are you going to do about it now? And she said physio could really, really help. And she said she has people that are on the waiting list for a knee replacement that did physio, that then came off the waiting list and didn't want the surgery. So that gave me a lot of hope. I've been given physio over the years, but I have never stuck to it. That's the problem. And I need to increase my quads. Now, I'm already going to the gym on the recumbent bike, and that's exactly what I need to do. So the more I can strengthen my quads, the better. And if I get on at the gym, if I go for the next few weeks regularly and not enjoy it, because I never enjoy the gym, but if I go, then we're going to think of buying a recumbent bike for my room, because I did used to have a treadmill. And I love the treadmill, but it's not something that's the greatest thing for my knees, because I would do it uphill. I couldn't run, but I would try and walk a little bit on an incline. I did use it when I had it at home. You know, a lot of people have these machines in their homes and never use them. When I got a cross trainer, I never used it. I hired one. I didn't buy one, but I hired one. I never used it because I don't like the cross trainer. So I need to figure out, do I enjoy using this? It's a semi-recumbent bike I use, because if I use a normal bike, it actually affects my bladder. And I'm going to try the fully recumbent bike next time as well and see how I get on with that. So I immediately booked an appointment with the lovely Leslie, who is my physiotherapist. She's the one that has basically cured my headaches, or almost cured them. I had a bad week last week, but I went to see her and back to being good again. So I went to see her. She has done me an exercise program. So I'm going to print that out. So there's lots of exercises I can do at home. There's lots of things I can do at the gym, continue on the bike, and any weight loss that I have will help my knees. So that's something I need to figure out. You guys know what's going on with that. I really don't know what to do. Ooh, the police. The police are coming. I wonder who they're coming to see. You always see that and think, oh God, I hope they're not coming to see me. I always think if they are, it'll be something wrong with my dad, you know. I'll be listening out for the buzzer now. I'm also listening out for the buzzer because I have no heating or hot water at the minute. So there's a gas engineer on his way. So that's everything about my knees. That's the plan, to strengthen my quads, to do my physio, and hopefully see some results that way. You know, and she said to stop bending down, but I'm not going to stop bending down to play with Watson. I'm not sure what else I can do. You know, he isn't a dog that would jump up on the sofa and play with me. And I tried yesterday to sit on the sofa and he just stopped playing and was looking at me like, what are you doing, you know? And it's really important to me to spend that time with him, so I'm not going to change that. But there we go. If you've got any suggestions, anything that's helped you with knee pain, I would be delighted to hear it, as I'm sure would other people that are struggling with knee pain, and arthritis is probably the biggest thing, isn't it? So yeah, thank you very much for listening, and I'll speak to you again soon.